So we get asked quite often, what does agentic AI look like in the most ideal form or within an enterprise? There's a lot of hype going around, and a lot of people talk about it, but not enough probably show it and sort of give examples, practical examples of what it would actually mean and the benefits be. So we thought we'd pull out a bit of a fun demo today, and I think this demo is really great because it captures the essence of what we do, and it's sort of just one instantiation of that core thesis, which is really one of context unification across the business, right? So if you look at what's happening in the market today, every enterprise app has got some kind of AI in it. Your Teams, your Gmail, your accounting suites, your ERP, your billing engine, everything's got AI in it. And whilst that's really useful and valuable, it's not really the most useful and valuable way to deploy AI across the business. So we gave the example last week of imagine you hired someone, like let's just say a finance clerk or an accounting clerk, and they could only get access to one system in the whole business, right? No matter how smart that person is, I think they'd struggle to be maximally useful within the business. And I think the point being in that example is that there's a lot of work that happens cross context, right? So across enterprise applications, as well as within the seams of those applications, right? So in your Teams channel, within emails, within Slack, there's a lot of information about why a decision was made that is captured within your systems of record, which are your enterprise apps, that really tell you what happened. But sort of in order to be as useful as possible and as a human being as well as sort of as AI, and we think about it sort of in the same way, you need to have cross context across the business. So that's number one. Number two, sort of to govern all of these hundreds or thousands of AIs that are sprawled across these applications, and potentially have them leak data is also a bit of a data privacy and security nightmare. So we think you should really tighten things up, just consolidate and centralize everything, and that sort of starts with a very strong and solid data layer and data foundation. I'll jump into this demo. So what this demo is showcasing is a Procure-to-Pay command center, so sort of a unified, centralized place to manage the procurement lifecycle, right? So someone needs something, they raise a request that needs to go through all of the different approvals. From there, then an invoice gets sent by whoever the vendor is that's offering that product or service. And then from there, then cross-consolidating that with what was received and confirming that the goods that were paid for, invoiced, and then obviously delivered all are sort of correct, and you can recon the whole workflow. But the first part that I'm going to walk you through is really about actually how we get AI to orchestrate across all of these different systems. Now, what this tool is on the back end is really where a lot of the magic is happening. This tool is integrated with your ERP, your billing engine, as well as your data warehouse, and then all of your different communications channels. And why that's also cool is because the AI will meet you where you are, not the other way around. So if you communicate with your team in Slack, why should an agent not do the same thing? So if you look at the dashboard, you can see that this person looked, put in a PR for cleaning supplies, which was microfiber cloths. So it was for 15,000 Rand. The system will obviously break down each of the individual line items. So I'll say there was the disinfectant spray, surface wipes, also auto calculating your VAT, and then putting in the total amount. So that's showing you what has already been submitted, and then it's either been converted to a purchase order, or it's been rejected, or it's been approved, right? So there's three different ways, and obviously that's all based on business logic, which the system will capture. So I'll just show you an example of, instead of me having to go through my ERP and submitting one of these workflows, the AI will actually automate a lot of this process. So I'll say I need cleaning supplies for I'll say toilet paper for 5,000. It's a lot of toilet paper. what's happening on the back end now is that there's an orchestrator or an orchestrator agent, which will analyze sort of the request that comes in. First of all, it'll validate who I am or the user is. So I'm currently logged in as Jeff. It'll understand that I'm a finance clerk. I sit in head office. So that all looks good. It'll understand the intent, and then it'll route that request either to a particular tool or pre-built workflow, right? So you can see here that it's identified within the GL, which is your general ledger, that this needs to be attributed to cleaning supplies. Your department is your operations team. It looks up all of the different vendors that it could potentially attribute this to within the ERP. So it's pulled up, looked at the full history, and it's automated a lot of that submission within the PR approval or sort of submission step. And then it'll go in and calculate all of the totals. So I've put in 5,000, it'll automatically add VAT. And then it'll automatically also then route to whoever the approver is. So Eleanor Palmer is the approver, but there's an auto approve limit of 10,000 Rand, which means anything below that, it'll auto approve. But I've obviously just gone and paused the process such that I can show you the end to end. So if you want to go and look at it, you can see that this PR has been created. It was the AI basically spec'd it to toilet paper. There's only one line item. It's very simple. It's added VAT, and the requester is also there. The vendor hasn't been put in yet, but as the finance clerk, I can now say I'm happy with this and I can submit it, right? Now, what I want to show, now I've got access to all of these different users. So I'll go log in as someone else. I won't be able to, as Carl, approve this PO. But if I go back to Eleanor's account, you can see now that it becomes possible. So now I can set to approve. I can say check with Carl, and then I can approve this, right, which will then obviously get submitted. Now that's going through a separate workflow, and it'll obviously go and check with a different team. I can do a couple other things. So I can say check my budgets for finance. It'll validate who I am, and then it'll pull from my data warehouse. That is my annual budget. This is that's what's remaining. So I've utilized 20% of it, and you can actually go in and validate all of the agent steps. So it's pretty quick, but it's super. You can verify the thinking and you can verify the steps. So from a governance perspective and audit trail perspective, it's really beneficial. Requisitions we've walked through, so now you can see the toilet paper PR has been submitted. And then the final step, which I think is quite nice, is that if we then take it a step further and then actually go and integrate it with your billing engine, you can see which invoices were either received or sent. And then we can cross-consolidate everything. So for a particular invoice that goes out, we can say we know exactly the PO that was raised for this, the invoice that was sent, and then the GRN, which the GRN is the good received note for when goods are actually received. That is the sort of approval document which gets signed off. You can see all of the different line items that needs to obviously get matched and checked according to the PO and the invoice. So what this does is it's showing you visibility across all of these systems, which is the first step, but then orchestration across all of them. So I hope that was beneficial. I hope it was one little snippet of what's coming, but we've got a lot more demos in the pipeline. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week.